Are you mad facing off against Iron Mike Tyson? I mean, he's fit, sure he's 100, but gee, he looks good.
Yeah, man, he's looking really, really good. I'm definitely a little bit crazy, and I'm definitely a little bit scared. You know, this is the toughest fight I've...
Jake Paul has admitted panicking over a lot of things as he bounces into the ring with Mike Tyson. Interestingly, his fear this time is as a result of the combo of Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson in training. Evander Holyfield had once trained Jake Paul. Hence, the problem child has a first-hand experience of Evander Holyfield training a boxer.
I've had to date against the most experienced opponent. It's at heavyweight, and Tyson's dropping people in sparring. He looks the best shape and the strongest.
He knows what he misses by missing out on the opportunity of having an undisputed world heavyweight and cruiserweight champion training him. And he knows what Mike Tyson benefits by having Holyfield in the ring with him. And there's been so much panic all over him, which he's been expressing on his social media handles. In fact, it wouldn't take a psychologist to help you figure out his fears and doubts, as Jake Paul is dying as the fight gets closer.
Heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm going to show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me.
Well, sometimes our fears can bring out the best in us, but with every passing day, it's looking unlikely that this will be the case with Jake Paul. Despite Jake Paul predicting he will be too fast for the 57-year-old, who hasn't competed as a professional since he was 38, he also admitted he was feeling fearful of the baddest man on the planet. I think he's underestimating me. I truly think that, Paul said. It's a heavyweight fight. He's the bigger man, but I'm the faster man. He's a much stronger man, but I'm fresh. He's experienced. I'm smart, but in the ring, he may be smarter. It's a really interesting matchup, and people see the training videos and think he's a beast.
Strongest he's ever been is what his coaches are saying. And so I know on November 15th, it's going to be a war, but I just plan on outboxing him and showing the world what.
But I know I have what it takes to beat him. It's an honor to be in the ring with him, but I'm confident I'll have my hand raised. It's going to be tough. He's going to be getting inside, but I believe I have the faster feet and faster hands, and I'm going to be finding the angles. But Jake Paul also admitted how much damage his matchup against Tyson was doing to his confidence, as he's been overwhelmed with thoughts of a 58-year-old brutally knocking him out. Interestingly, Jake Paul's fear didn't start now. It was first observed a few weeks after the fight was announced. However, no one thought he would nurture the fear to the point of canceling the fight. Back then, his panic reaction caught many people's attention, as Jake Paul was reacting to a particular video where the 58-year-old machine was seen on a new solid punch training, or let's call it speed punching, since his punches were coming after each other in rapid succession. Having chanced upon the videos as well, Jake Paul began fidgeting in so much panic and fear of the three-time former world heavyweight champion. Taking to Instagram after seeing different videos, Jake Paul shared his reaction in a short video where Jake Paul's expression can be seen to have morphed into bewilderment, with his face resembling a perfect blend of confusion and blankness. However, the fears soon spread beyond Jake Paul and got to his loved ones, which would have added to the reason why he's making moves to call off the match. Another footage emerged of Tyson crashing thunderous shots into the pads after the pair announced that they will meet in a huge showdown, and it got Jake Paul's girlfriend worried. Jutta Leerdam, a world champion speed skater, made her own fears clear when she anxiously asked Paul if a brutal knockout could be a serious risk.
Babe, but what if he knocks you out?
Ooh.
He sounds nervous.
Just look away.
No, like that will not be good, babe.
No,
Paul, who hasn't been knocked down in his career, brushed off Leerdam's concerns during their BSW/Jake Paul podcast. When she asked, "But what if he knocks you out? Is that your last fight?" Paul smiled and replied, "He's not going to." To save any back and forth, the pair both agreed it was a topic they shouldn't even talk about, with the YouTuber not even remotely worried about the possibility.
He's not.
But what if?
You tell me, what if Jake gets knocked out?
Would you cry?
Yeah, definitely. But that's because I just feel bad and I just hope you're okay.
I'm too sharp and fast, he said, before adding, Just being active and being the man in the arena for years and years now will make him win. Like, I don't even get nervous. The nerves are not even there anymore, Paul then shared.
Will not be good, babe.
No, just look away.
Is Jake Paul realizing that maybe he bit off a little bit more than he can chew, or is he simply studying the footage? Dana White said he's not thrilled about Mike Tyson.
I literally can't wait to look across the ring and see him and give him a freaking death stare. Paul felt Tyson's strength during a handshake and did, however, admit to being caught off guard. Shaking his hand at the shoot, this man is strong as hell, he commented.
Babe, what do you think about me fighting Mike?
I think you're gonna win, but he's the competitor that is like the most scary to me.
Yeah, he is.
What if he knocks you out? Like, is that your last fight?
Like probably the strongest handshake? I don't think he was trying not to squeeze, but you could just feel his hands were like bricks. Truly, Mike Tyson successfully exposed Jake Paul's fear, a feat that none of his previous 9 fighters had been able to accomplish, even if Mike Tyson has not exposed something bigger. However, while Mike Tyson did that, he also admitted to being scared himself, which seems more understandable for a fighter who's boxing against an opponent who's 30 years younger than he is.
I seen a YouTube of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer...
About a month ago, Iron Mike told Fox News Channel's Sean Hannity that whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I will confront it, he said. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
Tyson said he trains every day and doesn't think Paul is faster than him despite being half his age. The 57-year-old also said his 27-year-old opponent has come a long way from his days as a YouTube influencer. However, Mike Tyson has moved from being scared to death to scaring his opponent to death.
I don't think he's faster than me.
Jake Paul is saying he wants to be a world champion. He says you're the greatest heavyweight champion ever, the baddest man on the planet.
In an interview, the baddest man on the planet lashed out at his doubters and even accused most of them of expressing jealousy, rather than the care they think they're expressing.
If he fights the right fights and takes the right path to that world title, he can actually get there.
I'm 58 and what? I'm getting billions of views just from talking to somebody from fighting, Mike Tyson stated in a recent interview, discussing his boxing match against Jake Paul. Everybody, even most of the athletes, they're jealous. That's whack. I say in your prime, you couldn't draw 1 million people, man. What are you talking about? You couldn't sell out an arena. Who at 58 could sell out an 80,000 seat arena? He continued. Why you think he wants to fight me and not anybody else? Everybody wants to fight him. All the boxers want to fight him. But if he fought them, the only people that will come are the people that like him. The other guys, their parents, might not even come to watch them. That's just keeping it real. They're too boring for their children to watch. It's like watching grass grow. And now, Mike Tyson has given his doubters a greater reason to worry after confirming that his fight against Jake Paul won't be anything like an exhibition bout, but a professional fight that'll be as brutal as any professional fight can be. And what's more impressive is that the fights will be added to their total career fights. Mike Tyson fought 56 fights during his prime, with the last of them coming 19 years ago in 2005 against Kevin McBride. In all, Mike Tyson had 50 wins, including 44 knockout victories and 6 losses, while Jake Paul has 10 bouts under his belt with 9 wins and a loss. Notably, it was announced by the fighters and promoters in Washington that former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson's upcoming bout against YouTube sensation Jake Paul on November 15th in Dallas will be a sanctioned heavyweight professional fight. The pair will wear 14 ounces gloves and fight for 8 rounds of 2 minutes, all under the auspices of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, with the results showing on their pro records. They will not wear headgear as had been speculated prior to the fight, and there will be a full slate of judges. This marks a significant departure from Tyson's recent exhibition matches and signifies a return to sanctioned professional competition for the legendary boxer.
Not true at all. Not true. Not true. No true. Listen, This is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition...
Despite his illustrious career, Tyson, with a record of 50 wins, 6 losses, and 44 knockouts, has not secured a victory since his triumph over Clifford Etienne in 2003. However, he remains a formidable force in the ring, renowned for his power and ferocity. Concerns were raised regarding the age difference between the two fighters, with Paul being 27 years old and Tyson set to turn 58 on June 30th.
Cut out with Mike Tyson. Oh, the right hand! I doubt if he'll be able to get up from this. He hit him flush on the jaw with the right hand. It's up to...
Nevertheless, the decision to sanction the bout as a professional heavyweight fight indicates the confidence of the organizers in both competitors' abilities to deliver an exciting and competitive match. Mike Tyson wanted it to be a pro fight. Netflix wanted it to be a pro fight. So I agreed to make it a pro fight. Winner takes all, Paul posted on X, formerly Twitter. The bout will be at Atant Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the NFL's Dallas Cowboys. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul signed on to fight each other with the desire to do so in a sanctioned professional fight that would have a definitive outcome, Most Valuable Promotions co-founder Nakisa Badarian said in an X post. Over the past 6 weeks, we have worked with our partners to satisfy the requirements of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, TDLR, to sanction Paul versus Tyson, and we are grateful that we have gotten to this point. MVP has championed fighter choice since its inception, including advocating for women's boxing to be contested with 2 or 3 minute rounds based on the particular fight matchup.
Down goes Balboa. That's all it took. One shot, he may not get up. Both are stumbling around.
Paul versus Tyson and Taylor versus Serrano 2 will both be contested with 2 minute rounds, and each mega fight will have its winner. Thank you to the TDLR and Holden Boxing for their efforts throughout this process to date, and we look forward to working closely with them as we approach Fight Night. Tyson's boxing career spans several decades, marked by numerous highs and lows. He won his first heavyweight world title in 1986 and achieved undisputed champion status in 1987, a decade before Jake Paul was born. On numerous occasions, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul have been engaged in so much back and forth and heated exchange of words on social media. Every move of each fighter looks to be aimed at begging the better of the other. From training sessions, parties, outings, and interviews to social media pictures and videos, both fighters have never missed any platform to diss themselves. Both fighters have severally called out each other in their training sessions, aiming at scaring each other off, and each one boasting about his preparations. To a large extent, Jake Paul was always the one to make the first move before getting punished by not only Iron Mike Tyson, but also by other professionals of the sport. Aside from the daily uploads of training sessions, which the baddest man on the planet started first, Jake Paul has been the one mainly at the heart of their controversies ever since the match was announced.
No. All right, I'm gonna slow down. Okay, hold on. No, 1 minute break. Come on. 1 minute break.
In the announcement video, Jake Paul came up with countless footage of prime Mike Tyson sending insults and even biting the ear of Evander Holyfield. The problem child has caused many problems and has gotten under intense scrutiny from boxing professionals and supporters regarding his conducts. His repeated references to Mike Tyson's ear bite of Evander Holyfield has not only been deemed questionable, but has also brought him insults too. However, in his most recent post, he has taken a rather silent approach, and this time, it is Iron Mike Tyson who has come for Jake Paul unprovokedly.
Jake Paul Rocky training for Mike Tyson. Can he knock out Tyson?
In recent training footage, Jake Paul was seen doing quite unusual Rocky Balboa-esque sessions, nothing like the footage he had released over the past few weeks since the bout was announced. Rather than spar and train in the gym, Jake Paul was seen doing his training in an open space and in a car. With the vigor and intensity Jake Paul is putting into his sessions, he looks really set to give the baddest man on the planet a run for his money. Many have called it a lose-lose situation for him. However, he's keen on taking the loss that comes with a win. Definitely Jake Paul would rather win the bout and get the trolls from boxing fans and professionals that he was bragging about defeating a 58-year-old. Be it an honorable win or a dishonorable one, a win remains a win. And a win with some hate is surely better than a loss against a 58-year-old who last graced the ring in a professional bout when Jake Paul was just 8 years old. A loss against the baddest man on the planet would have far-reaching consequences on Jake Paul. It may be so defining that the single loss might shut out all of his dreams of being a world champion someday. And perhaps, if it doesn't get that bad, it may just take him off boxing for a long time and permanently cement him as a boxer who boxes no real fighters, but is always on the lookout for old and retired boxers and mixed martial artists, as many claim. To Jake Paul, thinking about the consequences of such defeat is in itself traumatic. And rather than go through such, he would prefer enduring some very intense and rigorous training sessions. In the training sessions, Jake Paul was seen in the public running up steps. He was also seen shadowboxing, also not in a gym, but on a rocky ground in open air. If you've ever questioned the need or significance for shadowboxing, then it is one of the most important aspects of boxing. Shadowboxing is a physical workout primarily used by boxers to warm the body before a fight. It involves moving around by yourself and throwing punches in the air. All these gradually increase the heart rate of boxers and prepare their muscles for strenuous training or fight. He, however, didn't stop his shadowboxing in public. He also continued it with so much intensity while he was in the car.
Jake! Snap out of it.
You should have called me Rocky.
It was at this moment he made a shocking revelation that gave more people insights into what he was really about. While in the car, he was so engrossed with his shadowboxing that he paid no attention when his name was being called repeatedly. "Jake, snap out of that," the other fellow with him called. After a third call, that was even more of a yell, he responded, saying, "You should have called me Rocky, I would." It was at this moment that many discovered Jake Paul was trying to imitate Rocky Balboa. Evidently, Jake Paul had drawn inspiration from the American sports drama film, written, directed by, and starring Sylvester Stallone. He had not only used the background music of Rocky Balboa, he had also used the exact location of Balboa's famous running on step exercise, the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Tyson, though full of the greatest respect for Holyfield, had openly admitted that he was surprised he beat him in 1996 and 1997. "I just thought he was awesome. I had great admiration and respect for him, but I never thought he could beat me."
Mike worked very hard. He's the only person I can ever say trained harder than me. I watched him and I said, God, man.
And I won the first round. This is what amazed me about him. The respect shared between both athletes is mutual, and Evander Holyfield had once opened up as to how much of an inspiration Tyson was to him at the start of his career and during his career. Mike worked very hard. He's the only person I can almost say trained harder than me. I watched him and I said, God, man. He never stood about. He trained so hard, and so even when he left, Mike can hit that bag for 3 minutes all out.
I never stood about. He trained so hard, and so even when he left, Mike can hit that bag for 3 minutes all out.
People tend to make up excuses. Mike Tyson is a small person. He hits hard, but he has short arms. I've seen Mike whooping people who are 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, and they outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds. He beat the daylights out of them. I figured if Mike can do it, I can do it. That gave me inspiration. I was pretending like I was hurt really bad, but I wanted to bite you right in your face, Holyfield also said in reference to the controversial incident when Tyson bit off his ear. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.